Figure I got the last little attempt to take the guitar out. And for it, it had some thermal issues. Figure. Meanwhile, I'm out here with the damn annoying ass radiant background from traffic now that as I start releasing the last Brick series. Kind of like the old roads. It was a little bit choked up seeing the place getting bulldozed, but you know, it is what it is. And then most partly, there's no sound wall blocking that anymore. All the highway noise is just barreling right into my ear. Now I'm gonna go see if I can't get some foam collected or something this first morning, since I gotta make it over to my storage unit here in a minute. I don't even think they're open till much earlier, or I mean later. That's cute. Here's an example. It's quiet. It's quiet against this wall where you could hear a pin drop down here. And someone just squeaked their shoes. That's how quiet it is. So, you know. Oh, yes. There's a follow-up video for after the guitar broke that I went back to jam out, not really to gather up anything or anything. It was mission complete. Jam out for Christmas. Hell, when you got smiley, when the customers are smiling and happy and they're buying more stuff, then it's good for business. Just jamming out. My guitar's gonna bust. I'm gonna at least try to bust a move. Fuck it. I was out here singing. Motherfucker just thought I was talking to myself. Yeah, I've got more than one reason to be kind of like, wish it was out of the mind at that point. I'm just like, how these people, they have a mental illness is what my head says at this point. I mean, I act. I do method acting. And improv and shit. Plus I keep it real, but I've been bucking with my voice acting too. So long ago, and I haven't done it yet, and I'm getting stage fright. I was doing the pastor from The Simpsons. Maybe. There was once upon a time, speaking of such, I used to actually find damn blunt roaches in these. And you know what the pattern throughout the time and space was at that point, across time rather, is that those vanished. They started showing up with tobacco instead, and no roaches, and then condoms instead. I'm like, that's a fucked up idea. Don't do that. So that was the flow. And then, by the way, then all the roaches started drying up, and chores started to show up what these fiends smoke with their crack cocaine. Which I can't believe the brain damage for that shit. Being, a metalsmith and electrician, going to school for electricity and knowing what metals burning can smell like. Yeah, electronics engineering means materials are understood, what those electrical capacitance, etc. Not what the video is about, but that's the gist of it. All that started showing up instead. It's something funny else. The serendipity of the universe. If you understand the poetic abstract of the universe, which is something you might have to be a little bit hip to, because you can't let it go to your head. You'll go nuts. There was no guidance for a lot of the witch fox people. We had to shut down on that because there's just no guidance. They're letting it go to their head. The tradition and all that, they're so used to their belief complex. And even in their own, even in the big three religions, there's a thing between faith versus belief. It's like if I use my belief as a lie, or I said it better like this, so I spend time before I just post shit, working shit out first. Don't trust my belief, and you can have faith in that. And that's the truth. Because I don't need belief. And they don't get it. This is the point. People are stuck in belief, don't understand the difference between imagination, creativity, abstract, versus cementing an ideological premise. And being initiated forcibly, usually at childhood or younger, baptized, and we go cross-eyed for that. Fellow coffee drinker out there going the opposite way. So they don't understand, it's like going from the innocent side of belief and, even desire conditioning and happiness conditioning. Speaking. Yeah. You do realize, the more serotonin and dopamine you release in your brain as a child, when in your adult life, you're going to be chasing drugs, right? You wear those receptors out if you just sit there and get sugar high all the time. Literally. But the great part is if you actually take a break from happiness pursuit, it'll last about 3 days of withdrawal symptoms, of happiness itself, serotonin, dopamine. Not all brains are designed to work on that shit either. So if you're sitting there trying to smoke weed even, and you're just doing it for a pursuit of happiness, and that part of your brain grows. Now say someone like me smoking weed instead, and I'm using it for imagery, pronunciation, concentration, focus, mobility, hell, even as an anti-muscle spasm, anti-seizure, etc., etc. Improved navigation, increased response times, even lag times, like a mental weight. So I just kept pushing against that. But that's like old days before now. We got cannabinoids, different kinds and all that. So that buzz that everyone else would get, I was using that as a literal weight, like weight class. What the fools can do on their crack, I can do sober. At 1 gear shift. It's a mix of survival instinct plus scavenger is what I've been able to interpret in my studying of these drug users. But you've got stage 5s of them. Of course, you've got traumatic response victims. You have the criminally minded. Those who just want to have a good time. And then, those who get, pulled by the undertow. So if you want to break it down into, if you wanted to go to psychology with this, so here's a psychological attachment due to traumatic response. There's a psychological attachment due to worse pursuit of happiness problems, and psychology into control mechanisms in the entire underworld, effectively. I mean, come on. When I was a teenager, and a lowercase d, I was bad enough to sit there and sprinkle the shit. I'm doing yayo. And I'm sprinkling the rocks for the crack fairies. Packing order. And that's at, 15, 16 years old? Before I got out of it and got educated instead. I was an evil motherfucker. That's a good thing I wasn't thinking with my dick. Oh, that's all control conflict. It's better than sex, bitch. Bow down. And that was how twisted and evil I was. And I'm not proud of it, but when someone wants to try to test me 20 years later while I'm back here in America, and all I came back here to take care of fucking 6 pieces of paper tops and return to Europe to take care of more paperwork and come here for a fucking ever made life crisis. I came here and these are the places in between, the dead zones I followed, because it's safer that way for my situation versus getting pulled into a world I'm not from. I don't need a reminder of 20 years ago and my frickin' friends that tried to frickin', well, you know, the nature of the beast. And the ultimate, why I don't have friends that do drugs. I lost my friends because of their drug problems 20 years ago. There was about 4 or 5 friends left after that and they dropped one at a time. You know, we had orbiters, we had different levels of friendship out there. That's why I say so much about trust zones. I've had fucking crazy ass narcissists think that's like a fear response or something. Like, oh, you got a trust issue? I'm like, no, I don't fucking know you. So you're at -0 right now, and you were 0 before that. First, you just assumed my position, so you got a -0 now. And some people don't get that. I've had friends that start acting like enemies, and then I start treating them like an enemy, and they think I'm the one acting different. Every reason in the world to go running back into my land of nothing. Because everything I got, the government already knows. I should be sitting on some industrial property that's as international as I can get. Like I originally fucking planned in the first place and was already doing. But its time was also the creeping of progress. Like this whole place, like I haven't really shown much of it out here because it's real close to the heart and home. So every place that I found, like these little ruins in the back end of everything, they're all gone one piece at a time. Hey, in other words, the whole end, the age is over here. The dojo's gone. Tana's left still, but it's in ruins. Hell, that was supposed to be if I could find some people that wanted to put the place back together and I'd fucking burn it down. What the fuck? So, you know, like over there in Europe, we had the Rogue, and that was 30 years of travelers and university students and everything, basically building the place up after the war. It's a huge old bike factory, multi-storied, huge complex with gated community instantly, like an anarchist shop at that point. And then unfortunately, the people that were more, you know, with it, they built entire things, entire gymnasiums, they had stages, and they even got their liquor license in the end. Okay? They converted an entire bike factory that was basically abandoned after the Yugoslav civil war, and they turned it into a DIY everything center. What do you kids do? You burn shit down instead. You want to break shit, then fine. Have you seen what I've been doing to break shit? Because if they knew what the hell I was shooting at them the whole damn time, and I'm what keeps ripping open their damn motherfucking sinkholes. How am I doing that? Well, if you follow anything about my junkyard science or anything on my actual aerospace and defense website, Nikola Tesla would have an answer for you. It's a sonal resonance. You know, like shattering glass with sound. Only I'm doing it with biomechanical capacitance, biostatic capacitance actually. It's biostatic capacitance. It takes a lot of extra shit since we got so much Wi-Fi and all that shit in the air. It's real easy with static electrical right to it. Everything I've shown you is measurable and real. And now its great part is, that's why I open disclosed it. You know, instead of like working in secret or something. I'm like, no, you want to destroy yourselves? I can sell you some things that'll destroy yourselves faster than what you got. You know, like turn the whole fucking atmosphere and ionize it by grounding the entire ionosphere in the stratosphere. I could do it with your power grids. Just the power grid. And set the sky on fire. For real. You can look that up.